start screaming again. We're just kicking off the Worldwide Kids Conventions. We're doing them in Australia first. And the first one in Perth was, we thought it was awesome, but so far this is... For all you people to ask us firsthand whatever's on your mind or tell us what you're thinking, because that's really why we're here today.
Just keep up the good work, man!
Okay, we've got two microphones. Tommy will be working this side of the room. I'll be working this side. We'll try and get to you as soon as we can. Who's got a question over this side?
Yeah, mate!
Over here.
I'm just wondering how you sort of handled Eric Singer's drumming style after progressing from Peter Criss to Eric Carr. Was that like a big change for us?
I'm sorry, did you say, was the change between Peter and Eric a big change? Is that what you said?
Yeah. The difference between Eric Singer from Peter Criss
well,
to
sure.
Eric Singer.
Yeah, sure. And it's not just the idea that it's a different style. Are we interrupting anything? Shut up. Listen, we're here because this is your chance to talk. And if knuckleheads like that are going to ruin it for you, you've got to stop them. We're not the police. We're here for you. You're here for us. Let's have the dialogue, but also let's respect somebody. If they want to say something, it's your turn. So respect everybody's chance to get up and say what they want to say, okay? Okay, the answer to your question is the change was much bigger than we ever thought, because it wasn't so much that Peter was, you know, one of the original guys, friends, brothers that we all started with on the streets of New York, but once Peter left, it was not just trying to figure out what the drums are going to sound like within the band, but also what the personality is going to be like. The makeup was a big issue, and also it was a big sort of emotional hurdle for us to get over, because once a family member leaves,
it doesn't happen when people are kissing your ass. The real thing is what we're doing here. Okay, right here.
First of all, guys, welcome to Australia. It's been a long time, 15 years. My question is to Jane. Jane, what's the tally of the women? Oh yeah, we hear stories. It's 2,000, 2,500.
4,000!
What do you think it is? Or do you know?
well, I'm glad you asked that question. I'll make a deal with you, okay? What we've got is to answer that question, what we've got is the only known existing copy so far of Kiss Street. We'd be more than happy to let you pass it around the house if you give it back in one piece, okay? So that means, notice the way I'm answering the question? So,
You got it right on the question.
you bet. So that means when you get it in your hand, look through it, but please pass it on to your friends, okay?
Yeah.
Catch.
Up against the right-hand wall.
How you doing? This question is directed to Paul and Gene. Just want to know why Ace Frehley's face doesn't appear on the Kiss My Ass album.
Good question.
And also, in a recent guitar magazine article, Vinnie Vincent was said to do unethical behaviour. I just wanted a few examples of that.
Vinnie who? The first part of the question, I'll answer it. What happened with Ace was really unfortunate. We've seen Ace since then. We had dinner with him about 3 months ago. So, you know, everybody's on good terms. We've seen Ace, we've seen Peter. You know, it's nice to be on good terms with your old buddies. And it's kind of like, you know, you want to be friends, guys, you want to be friends with some of your old girlfriends. It doesn't mean you want to sleep with them again. So, you know, we're all friends, you know, and we get along just fine. The problem was that a lawyer called us up representing, or saying he was representing Ace, and started making all kinds of demands about what we could or couldn't do with the album cover. And had it been Ace calling, we certainly would have considered it. But we're not at a point in our lives we're gonna let some snake with a suit and tie tell us what we can do and can't do. And if Ace had something he wanted to tell us, he could have told us himself. But we're certainly not going to listen to some guy who sucks the blood out of people making money by making people miserable. So we went ahead and changed it a little, and it's unfortunate because we would have liked to have Ace on, because that album is a tribute not to Gene and myself. Without Gene, myself, Ace, and Peter, there'd be no Kiss. We were the 4 guys who started this, and nobody else should forget it, because we don't forget it. Now, what was that part about Vinnie Vincent? Gene can answer.
Our other 2 friends are on the stage who are just as important as we are Eric and Bruce Kulick. And even though, in a very real way, we were trapped in our hotel rooms, we never got a chance to see real people like you looking back and talking with us. We were trapped. In fact, the only way we ever had a good time was we went out to Sydney Harbor, rented our own boat, and we're basically trapped out there.
Speak for yourself.
What? The differences together. You know, Ace and Peter will always be a part of the Kiss family. That's just the way it goes. But the idea of playing with them today is not appealing at all, honestly. So, right here, right now, we say no.
Plus, you got to figure that after not having them in the band for 14 years and continuing, it would seem a little strange to negate everything we've done and suddenly go back 14 years. I mean, we've got great memories. Part of this whole convention is about the memories and what we've done in the past. But the past is what we're building the future on. This is what this is all about. I mean, I can't see going backwards. Nobody's ever going to say never. But to put that makeup on purely to make some money, thank God it's never going to come to that, because that's the kind of prostitution we just don't want to be a part of.
Great privilege to actually talk to you tonight.
You know, you can tell us your name. It's your time.
What I want to know about is Bob Kulick. Would he have been in the band with being bald? With the with the image being so important in the early days?
My brother Bob, yes. You know, maybe that's something that he might think about, but I don't think my brother ever had the attitude to be really in the band. He was Paul's friend, and he auditioned when Ace auditioned, and apparently both Paul and Gene were real impressed with him, and Ace kind of aced him out, which was fate. And obviously Bob got involved in some, you know, helping out in the studio when they needed him. But I don't really think, Bob always kind of wanted to make his own path in life. And I'm not sure if he would have been happy in this kind of band as much as he's very proud of, you know, me being in the band. And he always would tell the guys, look, when you get rid of that guy Vinny or whoever it was at the time, get Bruce in the band. He's the right guy for you. So he's been real supportive.
Yeah, so far everyone's been really cool. The people that made me feel the most welcome, though, initially, I would have to say, was Gene, Paul, and Bruce. At a very difficult time, it was very awkward for them, but they really, you know, made me feel like part of the family right away. And then in turn, you know, they been really supportive, and I think that all you guys have been great, at least so far. You know, my experiences in the last few years.
Rock and roll all night.
This guy wants to audition, Gene.
Hey, I was here 15 years ago, mate, and I'm still here now. Hey, let me belong.
Too much Vegemite.
Keep up the good work. Keep up the work.
Okay, next question back here.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name's Stuart. It's great to see you. Just on behalf of everyone here and everyone who's not here, I'd like to thank you for coming to our town again. My question is to Bruce and Eric. Bruce and Eric? Yes. Eric, I'm telling you that you're not, but how do you obviously feel like you're spare dicks in the band sometimes? Spare dicks? Wait, what was that? Spare dicks. I like spare dick at a wedding.
I think I know what you mean, but for myself, that's a great way of putting it. I mean, there's no doubt that the band was really put together by originally Gene and Paul, and then of course with Ace and Peter. And this band always rides on four wheels. Without the four wheels moving, the thing doesn't move. And I know lots of times people feel it's always, you know, a Gene and Paul show. But I think especially in the past, like since Revenge and the Honda Shade tour, even, the band's been very much, they want to hear what I have to say. They want to hear Eric, who really had only a few years with them. What do you think of this? You know, and give yourself your opinion. You know, this band really does operate on us all having, you know,
Tom Stewart Kiss song, maybe sort of a bit, I don't know, influenced by the grunge, another influenced by you, but do you ever feel like, well, maybe we should put out an album?
I think grunge music, you know, I mean, everything gets these titles. It comes out of Seattle, or, you know, you tend to categorize music. Ultimately, it's either going to last or it won't. There's a lot of bands that are putting out 1 or 2 good albums, but nobody should ever judge a band by 1 album, 2 albums. It's really a matter of how long you really last. And, I mean, to get back to something more important, you know, you were talking about, you know, us caring about our fans. But the truth of the matter is, you know, you have a lot of fans now saying, oh, they've got the greatest fans. And you know, and we know it's bullshit. Because all fans are graded and judged by KISS fans. Because KISS fans are the most rabid,
because they'd done x-rays, and we were there with him the night before the operation. We asked him, we'll get you anything you want, you know, we're in this together, and so on. This is something we never talk about in interviews, but you want to know, and we'll tell you exactly what happened. And all he wanted was French fries and a McDonald's. So we immediately went out and got him McDonald's, French fries, came back. We laughed, he joked around about it. Within a day or so, we went back again and visited. He seemed in great spirits. He showed us where the scar was. We held our hopes high that everything would turn out okay. And we soon discovered that he had cancer in his heart. The cancer quickly spread, and within 6 months, Eric passed away. Before he passed away, he, in a very real way, refused to deal with it, was not taking care of himself. We always insisted, forget about the band right now, you know, you'll always be in the band, take care of yourself. You've got to stop running around, you've got to start getting rest, you've got to start doing what the doctors say, and so on. And he didn't really do the things he should have been doing. Towards the end, when the doctors and we and Eric knew that it was progressing very, very fast through his body, Eric wanted to be as much as possible a part of any and all KISS projects. And I don't think could deal with the reality of it, as I'm sure none of us would. or could. He wanted to play on Revenge. We literally started rehearsing with Eric Carr the new materials for Revenge. It just was not, it wasn't happening. Eric didn't have the stamina. He just couldn't put out because of his weakened condition. He was losing weight very, very fast. And we insisted that he go back home and get rest. And Eric Singer came in and, you know, trying to help out with the material. We were not thinking at all of, quote, a new band or even dealing with Eric passing away. It was nothing that we can even imagine. And before Eric Carr passed away, he asked to be in the God Gave Rock and Roll video, playing on it, even though he did not play on the record. And we said, of course, because that didn't take that much pressure. The reality is that it was very difficult for Eric to deal with the reality. And we never held news conferences. We never told anybody what was actually going on because, first of all, it's too personal, and the only people that should be able to talk about Eric Carr's passing is probably rightfully his family. So up until now, we really made no public statements about it, except that we miss him.
Towards the end, when Eric was very ill, we had told him, you know, go to Hawaii, go someplace and rest up, because your only chance is really to take care of yourself. And for some reason, he seemed to think that it was more important to be a member of KISS. He saw that as a rejection. And when he was in the hospital, for I'd say the last 2 months or so, we had no idea what condition he was in because he told his parents not to tell us. So literally, and unfortunately, we didn't know of Eric's death until he died. And then we flew back to New York. But it was an awful situation because for us, like anybody here, if you were told that your best friend is dying, you always believe that somehow there's going to be a miracle, and you hope for the miracle. Unfortunately, there was none. And there's no good side to losing somebody as special as Eric.
Yeah, like all these dudes here, I've got 1,000 questions I could ask you, but a couple come to my mind. When you picked Vinnie Vincent, his unmasked face was already known due to being another band. Was this not a problem because you knew already when you picked him that you were going to take the makeup off? And also, question 2, you don't write a book without an ending. Is this the saying goodbye to Australia, the end of KISS?
No, this book will continue. You know, all we were doing was trying to chronicle our history up to this point. It's funny how people always want to know, or maybe they dread it, so they always ask us, is this the end? Is this live album the end? Is this studio album the end? Is this tour the end? We have no plans of calling it quits. If anything, we see this as something that's going to continue.
In fact, if anything, we're gearing up to do more projects than ever. We're going to be finishing a studio record as soon as we get back. We don't know. And, excuse me, as you can tell, I'm still sick. Always been sick. And there's another exciting thing going on, a magazine called Kiss Nation, which is going to be distributed by Marvel Comics worldwide. It's going to be a 48-page comic book, as well as another 100 or so pages of articles and so on, all to be written by you. No professional writers, no nothing. It's your fanzine to the world. And we were hoping to have Marvel have copies available here. They didn't make it in time. But, pardon? But besides Kiss Nation and Kiss Street and Kiss Conventions, and there's so many things we're planning. And for one thing, we want to set up an online, a direct access from you to us via computer, so you don't have to go through the mail and so on. So instant communication between us. And KISS Online is going to be going on in the next month or so. And you'll get all the details in KISS Nation.
Yes.
What was that about, Vinny? Good question. What happened was, you know, we began to realize towards the end of the makeup period that we couldn't keep coming up with characters. When we first started out, there were 4 guys who came up with an identity for themselves. And the idea, first of all, we never had any thoughts that anything would ever happen to the original band. Somehow we felt that the 4 of us would be the band until the end. The biggest trauma for us was all of a sudden when you go, well, wait a minute, one of the guys isn't holding up his end anymore. Does that mean that we call it quits? And at that point we decided no, and Eric Carr joined. And it was very strange at that point to help somebody come up with a character, you know. In a minute I'm going to go over there. You know, then when Vinny joined, we were really at a point where we decided after that, it was really time to change. It was going to reach a point where it was going through the motions. And regardless of whether or not we were going to be less popular, regardless whether or not people were going to want to hear our music, we figured at that point we had to change to remain honest. And if people didn't like the music, then obviously the band sucked and we shouldn't continue. So thank God that was right.
Hi, my name's Carmen.
That's great.
Thanks.
You're really very talented. Very, very good.
I'd just like to request, so if you could sign this for me.
Would you let us take a photo of that and we'll put it into Kiss Nation?
Yeah. A tribute to Eric Carr.
Okay, send it up. We'll do it now.
Okay, next question back here.
Hi, I'm Patrick. You were talking about the makeup just a second ago, and I know that Eric Singer in one of the videos suggested that he might identify with the Hawk image that I think originally you were suggesting for Eric Carr. I wondered if Bruce has ever had any ideas of what character he might have taken.
I think I said it before, a dog. Big, ugly, stinky dog.
Actually, though, we had some guy in America one time, after I had mentioned about the Hawk, he drew these characters of the band, how it would look today, this lineup in makeup. And he had Bruce as the sorcerer with a crystal ball.
How original. Really, you know, it's a tough one. That's why we might just leave that alone.
Okay, back in the front, down here on the right side.
G'day, I'm Damien. I was wondering if there's going to be like 4 more solo albums.
No. And not because they weren't a lot of fun, but at this point, the only way to make the band be what you want it to be is for all of us to put all our effort into.
Are you interested in playing on the moment? And then we say, time permitting, we are interested. That doesn't mean that it happens, because you're talking about a lot of people, many tons of equipment and so on. So it's not very easy to just put Kiss from one place to another. You know, it's like a small traveling city. And that was another instance where somebody approached us and said, are you interested in this situation? Well, time permitting, we are. That doesn't mean all of a sudden that there are posters saying, Kiss, Joe Cocker and the Beatles, you know. It's not a bad build-up.
What we tried to do then is, knowing that tickets had gone on sale for a show that we had no plans to do, we weren't even on tour, we said, if you can come up with the money to get us over there and at least show us that this is a legitimate business operation, we'll go. The money never showed up, so neither did we. That's really what happened with that. We never knew about that until there were tickets being sold. What about the Elder? That's always been a strange one for us, because we don't think it's a bad album. We just don't know if it's a good Kiss album. Because we were trying so hard to show everybody what we were capable of and trying to impress people that maybe we missed the spontaneity of what Kiss is really about. It's amazing, especially in Australia, the fact that there's so many people who champion that album, and obviously we're going to do our best to try to work up a song, but
That's the first time we've seen Gene Simmons cry on that album.
You should see him in my hotel room every day.
Down the front on the right-hand side.
Hi guys, I'm Tony, to Eric Singer. When you took over from Eric Carr after the statements of him dying, did you find it very hard, because Eric Carr was loved by all his fans, because he's an absolute legend. Was it hard to sort of fill that spot?
That's a good question, but I get asked that quite a bit. Excuse me. I never looked at it as being difficult. The only thing that was difficult was replacing somebody under those circumstances. Because on one hand, it was a great opportunity for me in my career to, to progress. That's a terrible way for it to happen, at the loss of somebody else. But, I'm not here to, I never looked at it like I was here to replace anybody. I'm here to help Kiss pick up and move on.
G'day guys, I'd say welcome to myself and everyone who loves him. First question, why isn't there a best of solos on disc? I can't seem to find that one. And is there any chance of having more live videos like the Analyze of older tours and unmasked tours? And I hope the next album is heavier than Revenge as well.
We get requests a lot for all kinds of repackages of stuff. Every year, some territory in the world wants to bring out a new collection, or the best of it, or all 3 live records put together in one, or the solo records in one. First of all, the best of the solo records was never authorized. It simply appeared. And we're discussing that with the record company. But we don't have a problem with the idea of compilations of material appearing every once in a while. The problem is how often. If the solo records already appear, we never saw the need for a best of the solo records. We started doing the original. Before there were any box sets, we decided, let's do box sets. Let's put a couple records together and put them out. So we had the originals. Then you give me a chance to finish my comment? Thank you so much. You had double platinum, a live 1, a live 2, the originals 2, which was not authorized. Smashes, thrashes, and hits, on and on and on. And other areas of the world had Chikara, which was the greatest hits album. Then Europe had Killers, another compilation. Past a certain point, it's like, how often are you going to hear Detroit Rock City? Hey.
Every day. Every day.
Let's do it tomorrow. That's a good idea.
I think there's a couple of people down here, everyone's going to raise their hand now, but we're not going to get to you with the microphone. So maybe we can take the stage first, and you can stand up and do your question.
This is your chance to be a star. Stand up.
Now I'm not going to walk pregnant. I want to know if you can sign and go.
Somebody have a pen?
I got a texter. What happened to my texter,
Everybody close your eyes. space left on the belly for me.
So,
Can I have a question while they're doing that?
continue with the question.
Let's continue.
The guy here with the black t-shirt. In the middle.
Yeah. Do you know what time you were born? All four of you?
3 a.m. New York time.
I was born at like 8 o'clock in the morning, May 12th.
5 o'clock in the afternoon, Sunday, January 20th, 1950. In case you want to know my astrological sign? Capricorn with penis rising.
Gene was born of a jackal.
I was born in Israel at about 7. You need a city or you need a city as well?
Yeah.
Haifa, Haifa. Or you can spell it Z-F-K-L-B-Y.
There were no clocks back then, right? There's only sundials.
You need the birthplace too. I was 1958 in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. I know it's the armpit of the United States.
New York, close.
My time? 7:05.
666.
A.M. Okay, right here in the middle.
How you doing, fellas? My name's Randy Stone, and I've been a fan since I was 14. Fire helmet. Wow. From the 1980 Kiss concert.
Wow.
And it's the most well done, man.
I'll sign that for you.
Okay, but while waiting for it to be signed, we've got a question over here on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Jane. I'd actually like to see how long your tongue is on video. Yeah!
This is Dagger. This is Dagger.
It's been a lovely.
Late night.
Lovely.
Anyway, guys, my name's Paul. I was just wondering if you got any good jokes for us. Good jokes? Any good ones lately?
New album's going to be, I mean, we could sit up here and tell you how great it's going to be, but it's going to be really great. The fact is that we started about 3 months ago. We got together with the idea that we were going to start recording, and we went into rehearsal and listened to the stuff that we had written, and, you know, quite honestly, it sucked, a lot of it. You know, my stuff wasn't very good. A lot of Gene's stuff wasn't finished. And we said, you know, rather than going in the studio at this point, let's go back to the drawing board.